Okay, so this is gonna be a thoughts on Mortal Kombat 11 before MK12 comes out. So I'm not gonna really edit this, nor am I really going to go too in depth into everything. But I'm just gonna cover some thoughts and stuff about this game. So I want to start with the presentation of the game. This game looks beautiful. We'll get into it later, but this game's art style and general fidelity is really great. This is not the biggest deal to me, but it will probably age better than the other games of the time, like Tekken 7 or Street Fighter 5 in terms of looks. But you know, not the biggest deal to me. But I know it matters to other people a bit more. Since it's playing right now, music in this game, mediocre as hell. Super forgettable. It's like they're trying to make a movie score. But, yeah, that's super rapid fire. I have nothing to say about the music. It's super average, like beyond, no, mediocre, I just said. The story, basically, my opinions on the story, a lot of it is the same as SonicHaxDs. That series, the Mortal Kombat 11 SUCKS series, just watch that. He makes fun of like everything in the story, and for good reason too, because the story's not very good. Super plot holes, lots of missed opportunities, bad character writing, blah blah blah. And as I've been showing here, the shop, yeah, shop. I'll get into this, but this entire shop system and everything about what I'm going to talk about next makes no sense.
Story towers of time.
So, we're going to actually get into the meat of the video, and we're not going to rapid fire everything. Let me just... Yeah, this happens every week. Towers of Time is like the biggest ripoff of an RPG system I've ever seen. Basically, if I wanted to sum it up, you grind for augments, which buff up your character. And
of time.
Honestly, it's like, it's random. Almost everything you get is completely random. And it's like, huh? Like, why is everything random? Every augment you get is random, for the most part. There is ways to there is ways to, what do you call it, get more augments that you want, or higher level augments, but you can't even what do you call it, level up your augments, which makes no sense to me, because it's supposed to be an RPG style system, right? But like, you just fight. That's all you do. You just fight with random BS gimmicks that like make it so it's like impossible to play the game. Or like the opponent always has hyper armor, there's stage hazards that you can't really avoid. You get no intangibility on most of your moves, so you can't dodge them. They go through your block. Like, just so much random bullcrap that you have to deal with just to get a chance to get something you want. And this goes back into the shop I was showing. There is no way to buy augments or customization that you want. If you want the thing, you have to grind for it. And I was showing a customization later. I never completed my Terminator build. I wanted to make a Terminator build that was like super overpowered, but I never got to complete it because these lucky towers, especially, pure luck. What character you get for boss tower, which is what you need to get the augments you want, completely random. Just gotta re-roll, you know. So this whole mode kind of sucks. It's just a time waster. The only thing you want to do here is grind for like character visuals, like all the customization and stuff. That's about it. So overall, really bad mode. Just not worth your time unless you want to farm some cosmetics.
Towers, classic towers.
Classic towers, honestly, not much to say about classic towers. I mean, it's just classic towers. I never gone through the crypt entirety. I hear a lot of people say they didn't like it that much, and honestly, I didn't like it that much either, personally. But, oh well. It is what it is, you know.
Local.
So, now getting into more modes. Fight mode.
Tournament.
Never really used tournament mode, but I'm just going to assume that Yeah, it is what it says. You just play with people, but, you know, with tournament mode. So there's, like, stuff banned.
AI battle.
Now there's AI battle. Honestly, this is where you just use your AI characters, because I'll show you in a sec, but you use your characters as AI settings that you set to fight other people. Honestly, nah. I only used it once. It's really not nothing special.
Online.
Now this is where a lot of stuff this is gonna take up a bit more time, so let me just, yeah. Can we load, please?
Combat League. Ranked set.
So, Combat League is basically ranked mode. You're forced to play best 2 or 3s, you know, basically.
Casual versus.
Casual versus exactly what it sounds. Basically, just fight people. If you play this mode, I don't know much about Combat League because I hate ranked modes. But in casual
versus.
You're gonna fight like every scorpion on Earth. Like you're gonna fight the army of scorpions, and they're all gonna spam spear and teleport, and that's their entire gameplay.
Casual King of the Hill.
King of the Hill. If you know how King of the Hill works, it's pretty much just that. It's pretty much just a lobby.
Casual AI only.
Oh, I forgot this was even a mode, but you know, same thing as AI battle. But you know,
casual private 1 versus 1.
There's private lobbies and.
Private practice.
I wanted to point this one out because this is actually one of the coolest modes ever. Online training mode. Honestly, I kind of wish it was in every fighting game, but that's just not how life works. But when they added this in Street Fighter 6, and I saw that they added it from a friend, that was like the coolest thing ever, and I'm so glad that this game has it, because honestly, this game's only good selling point is it's online. Because this game's online is like 3 times better than Street Fighter 5 or Tekken 7's is online. Like, if you use a Ethernet cable on those games, your online is still garbage. But in this game, you won't have many dropped frames at all, even if you're not even using an Ethernet cable. So, the only reason you'd ever come back to this game is it's really good online. The only problem is that there's no crossplay, but that's, like, common for the standard of these games at the time, sadly. But oh well. And if you're just in case you're wondering,
Private 1 versus 1.
I'm garbage at this game. I'm really bad. I have like literally a 50% win rate. You can probably body me.
Characters.
Now we're getting into customization.
Collection.
And honestly, collection, I never even been to this mode. Not until before today. The collection to me, completely alien to me. All I understand is that you collect all this crap from the crypt, but literally, let me just turn off the voice audio. I should have just turned it off from the beginning. The collection, completely, I don't know what to say about it. Like, it's not bad, it's cool you can collect concept art and crap, but like, I'm sorry, I just cannot care about this, especially the music. No, thank you. But more importantly for customization, we got characters. And this is where a lot of the holes of the game start to show up, besides the towers. Basically, in this mode, you create your own variation. Like, you know how they have variations in Mortal Kombat X? Yeah, you create one of those, where you have your own custom visuals, like, you know, all these cool sunglasses, all these shotguns in this case, your skin. But what really makes it fall apart is the actual moveset customization. It kind of sucks. So, a lot of people joke that every character in this game is the same, or most characters are the same. And a good chunk of it is because a lot of characters share too many tools. But in this customization, you see that a lot of characters do have very unique moves. Like, Terminator is the only character, where is it, who has Running Man. He's the only character with what's basically some people would call a command dash, where he just runs at you with follow-ups. Only unique to this character. But at the same time, a lot of these moves have conflicts, like conflicts with Ion Grenade, or conflicts with Incapacitator, Cyber Rift, etc. So you can't equip a lot of these moves together, and where do I find it? where is it? This one, Rolling Iron Grenade, notice how it says it costs 2 slots. So, if I wanted to equip this, I can only equip like one other special move with it instead of equipping 3 specials. And mind you, Terminator only has 2 specials by default. And one of his specials, where is it? Ion Grenade. This one replaces sawed-off shotgun. So it's like, man, you were thinking you could create some like cool, custom, playable version of your character, but then it's just like, no, because you have so many conflicts or moves get replaced and stuff, where it's like, you just can't put a lot of moves together in a way that feels unique to yourself. So that really sucks for customization. Like, it's a mode that says like, oh, you create your own playstyle, and it's just not very true. Now, of course, I've been showing that on here because I'm an idiot, but AI stuff, most of this stuff is somewhat self-explanatory, except that grappling also includes anti-airing, and I'll get into anti-airing a bit later. Anything else for this mode? You can create 5 variations, that's cool. Well, I guess I should bring this up. What do you call it? The augments here. Augments, complete failure of a system, I'd argue. Because it's supposed to be an RPG, like I mentioned, the towers. So you grind these in the tower. You gain these in the towers, mainly towers of time. And there's like 6 types. They upgrade different crap. I'm not going to go into everything. There's like one for offense, defense, one's for currency, when the currency ones kind of just suck. Chaos, which just gives you like power-ups based on elements, and there's like a few elements that you can only see in the play versus enemy mode. But augments, okay, so you get them randomly. You can't upgrade them manually. You can't buy them from any shop, even if you get so much currency. There's only like, you could only equip one at a time. So all these are finite. So if you want another one on a different character, you either have to take the augment off this, say, this equipment and put it on them, or you have to grind another copy. Yeah. So, like, and it's weird because they give cool abilities, especially these jinseis, which upgrade your character's, like, actual moveset. Like, it makes your moveset actually better, or do cool crap rather than just, like, generic buffs. Like, I don't know, it's a good one. Decreases iron grenade, decrease iron grenade regeneration time by 100%. Increase the radius of iron grenades by 100%. So, like, literally your iron grenades become broken. And every character has stuff like this, where they makes one of their tools completely overpowered. Which is really fun, but then you realize it takes so much work and luck to get it. And not only that, you can't even use these augments in training mode. As far as I understand, training mode does not allow you to use augments in any capacity. And because of that, you can't even test your best combos with them, or see how much damage you could have with it. I'm assuming you could with mods, but I am not playing on the PC version at the time of this recording, so, yeah. That really blows. A lot. Okay, lastly, we're going to be talking about tutorials and stuff, and then we'll get into the actual gameplay. Tutorials, I didn't even get through this whole mode because I really didn't feel like there's like 800 tutorials, but they actually do tell you a good chunk about how fighting games work, generally speaking, like basic crap, how its systems work. It tells you, it actually has a pretty decent explanation on how frame data works, which is pretty cool, honestly, because Tekken 7 had it completely hidden. Street Fighter 5's frame data system was like, I don't like how Street Fighter 5 handled frame data. It's not as good as Street Fighter 6, but that's kind of not a fair comparison because Street Fighter 6 came out like literally 4 years after this game. But to see that this game already had like all of its frame data available, really cool. And there's even character tutorials, so you know, that's pretty cool. I don't think they tell you anything too groundbreaking about each character. I didn't go through them. I did not care enough. It's, you know, oh well. Okay, so I've been breezing through a lot of this video, mainly because I don't have a lot I want to say about this game, to be honest. Because, like, I'm just going to use this as an explanation. I don't really like this game. If it wasn't apparent enough, I don't think this is that good of a video game in general. I don't even mean like just as a fighting game, I just mean like as a game. But this is mainly going to be a gameplay, my thoughts on the gameplay. Where do I even begin? I guess I would start with some positives. Really good training mode. Like, look at this. You can see all of your frame data. You can see the requirements for doing certain things, what moves can or can't do, what their properties are. You can see their hit ranges, their exact damage outputs. If you don't land it in a combo, of course, these will all be terribly damage scaled in a combo. You can see all your specials, every single variation of it, what you can do with them, blah blah blah. As for training mode itself, you have a lot of AI options, too many to cover in this one video alone. And honestly, this stuff alone, makes the game at the very least very approachable. Very approachable. If you have the right control. See, crap, I shouldn't have shown that. Basically, Mortal Kombat, it's pretty much agreed upon that you almost always want to play on D-pad, and the reason you want to play on D-pad is because they use these, you know, directional inputs rather than motion inputs. So these directional inputs generally are easier on, say, a D-pad than a thumbstick, because your thumbstick might hit a diagonal and just like screw you over entirely. So you know that's annoying, especially since this game's controls aren't that good. I can't really explain well why these controls aren't that amazing, but believe me, these controls are weird, and it might be partly due to a block button, because you know this block button exists, where it's like awkward to buffer. Well, I did it correctly, but you know, that's fine. So, how do I explain this? This game is slow. So, what NRS wanted to do with this game was make it more neutral-based, where everything's slower, there's less ridiculous combos. Let me just throw them over here. There's less ridiculous combos, which, like, let me just show you, like, one of Terminator's, like, higher damage combos. You know, if I can do it. You know, that's not a good example, but a lot of characters have very limited combo potential unless you have, like, really good execution or have, like, really weird setup in play. But, you know, it doesn't matter that much to me that the combos are limited, but what does matter is how sluggish this game is. So, you can dash block. There's this thing called dash blocking, where it's like you wave dash. But, like, if you look at this, now this is not an optimal wave dash at all. But maybe it's because it's Terminator, because Terminator's dash is hella weird. But it's not that fast. Your walk speeds are generally not that fast. Your dashes are sluggish in general, unless you do, of course, a super run. But your buttons aren't that fast for the most part, except for your jabs. But overall, this game is generally pretty sluggish in terms of movement and in terms of attack strings. Like, I could boot up MKX to show it, but I don't feel like it. But everything, most things, really aren't that fast. Like, there's a huge delay between certain moves. It's partly this character, but it's giving me a good chunk of other characters like this too. I don't know how to express it. This game is sluggish, I'll put it like that. If you don't believe me, play the game. The game's sluggish, that's all I'm going to say about that. But what I really don't like about it is this tiny little meter, well, not meter, this thing on the top that says Fatal Blow. I don't want to show it because YouTube's evil, but it's a comeback mechanic. It's a comeback super. I'm just going to explain. It's a fully armored, on like frame 6 I think. It's a fully armored, minus, not fairly safe on block for most characters, 33% damage cutscene combo, and if you miss, it'll come back after 10 seconds, I think. The only thing with it is if you land it once, you can't get it back. That's the only thing. So you want to burn it to kill the opponent, or at the very least miss, so you can still have it for the next round, assuming it's not the final round and you just died for it. Honestly, I don't really like comeback mechanics, especially comeback supers. They're pretty lame, because it's like, oh yeah, like frame 6 armored attack that beats all of your moves, unless it's an armor breaker move. And let's bring that up right now. Armor breaking moves, kind of suck. There's an entire video I might link. It's a big yellow video on breakaways, like this game's Combo Breaker, which I'll talk about in a sec, but armor breakers suck because they're poorly distributed, and for many characters, your armor breaker is a move that you don't even feel like using that much, pretty much. But they beat Breakaway and Fatal Blow, but since there's not a very reliable way to use armor breakers, it's just like, okay. Because if these broke armor, then there'd probably be less Fatal Blow spam, because you see Fatal Blow a lot because it's such a strong tool. But, you know, no armor breaker, and a lot of Fatal Blows, I think, at least in this game, are like relatively safe on block, if I'm not mistaken. How is this one on block? No, this one's minus 21. I think they changed it at some point. Maybe I'm just stupid. But let's actually talk about Combo Breaker. So Combo Breaker, you do by pressing down and block when you're getting comboed in the air specifically, which is a really stupid input because that's just your crouch block. So if you try to block a move late and you accidentally press crouch block, you just literally fall in the air and you accomplish nothing. So they could have used the stance button, you know, this button that's completely useless, that probably confuses a bunch of newcomers, and it's probably one of the single reasons why the animation's janky. But, you know, besides all that, Breakaway is stupid. Because, like, yeah, you break the combo, but for the defender, you basically, what do you call it? For the defender, you can basically punish some attacks. Like, if an opponent is doing a certain, what do you call it? If an opponent is doing a, what do you call it, combo, but the final attack they has a lot of unluck, you can just punish it. Just full punish it. And I do mean full punish it because, as this thing explains, it costs both your defensive meter, both defensive bars. But combos, for the most part, only use your offensive meter. So because of this offensive-defensive meter stuff, you just literally, like, if you break away from a combo and the opponent committed to a full combo but doesn't have an armor breaker, you can just, like, full combo them. Or at the very least put them in disadvantage for them hitting you. Like, you get hit, and your combo breaker puts you in advantage. Which is, like, really messed up, honestly. Like, yeah, Mortal Kombat X had a really ridiculous combo breaker because you can break any combo on the second hit onwards, whether it's grounded or not, unless it's a specific move that cannot be combo broken, like hit grabs. But, like, literally in this game, you can punish them for it. In MKX, it costs a 2 or 3 of your super meter, and in MKX, all it does is a big unblockable push attack that does no damage. And it completely resets neutral. I think you're both, like, literally 0 on hit. So it completely resets neutral. But in this game, the breakaway doesn't reset neutral. And you keep 2 bars for a full combo. Because that's fair. And another thing with meter... oh, I have infinite meter. So let me show this off. The meter in this game is kind of weird. If I can find it. The meter is really weird in this game because you basically... normal. You gain back meter automatically. So as you can see, I gain back meter slowly but surely. And look at the meter gain. Okay. Well, how about if I use... let's say this. Oops. Command grab. Notice how I think it's growing back, the meter's gaining back faster. Every move in the game, most moves in the game that you can amplify, like almost like an EX, every single one of them has a different meter gain build. Like every time you use an amplify mode, it has a different amount of meter you gain back after it. And the game doesn't tell you this. as far as I understand it, I don't think there's a single point in the game that tells you how much meter gain you get back every time you amplify. Which is so it's basically a hidden variable. It's like how in Street Fighter, you don't know how much meter you gain per punch or attack in general, unless you just lab it specifically. And honestly, you probably wouldn't pick up on the fact that each amplified move has a different amount of meter built back, because it's like, huh? Why would you know that? How would you know that, actually? It's just a trial and error thing, really. Which I'm not that big of a fan of, but whatever. More importantly, though, the amplify system itself. So as you can see, so that's a normal special move, right? In Street Fighter, or Mortal Kombat X for that matter, you press both this, you press the special move button and the amplify button at the same time to get your EX move. Not in this game. You just press it during the move, like that. Or in this case, you amplify halfway through. Honestly, this does make it easy to hit confirm special moves, but kinda lame. Like, pretty lame in general, because it's like, you don't have to commit to your move. Like, if your amplify move is safe on block, but the normal special isn't, you can quite literally safely hit confirm it, and just go, oh, well, if the EX move is safe on block, but I screwed it up, and now I'm gonna die for it, I can just amplify it halfway through because they're blocking. Sure, it costs 1 bar of offensive gauge, but it's like, you just spend bar to be safe on block on a wrong guess. Halfway through. Like, honestly, I don't like this amplify system. It's from Injustice. I think it's like literally carried over from Injustice, but I much prefer EX moves, where you press the button at the same time as you amplify. No, you press the amplify button at the same time as you press your special move. Yeah. Any other things about gameplay we really want to talk about? Well, for one, this game uses a dial-a system for its strings, but you know, that's besides the point. I guess one thing that's really confusing, this is true with all Mortal Kombat games, from like Mortal Kombat 9 and onwards. So, look at the hit advantage. Where is the hit advantage? 16. Hit advantage to 16. So you think that if this move is frame 7, right? This is a link? No, links aren't real. But if I do this, that's a combo. That's a combo. Yeah, this game's very confusing with frame data, because all your hit advantage is fake unless you do the next part of a string or a special cancel. Like, for example, this is a common way to set up your 50-50s with Terminator. Yeah. Anything after this shotgun, completely fake. That is not a combo. It did not add to my combo meter. They can just block. Very weird. Unintuitive. Just like the juggle system, I guess. The juggle system's kind of weird because, like, people fall really fast from gravity scaling in this game compared to other games. But again, the combat's just not that big of a deal to me. But lastly, I guess for gameplay is, yeah, a lot of, so earlier I kind of went into this a bit, where I said that a lot of characters have similar moves and a lot of people joke about it. They're not wrong, strictly. Every character in this game has a basic projectile, for example, which I guess is kind of true for NRS, except for Mortal Kombat 12, where Johnny Cage doesn't have one. But, like, what's weird is, if a lot of these moves didn't require customization, they probably might be useful, because let me pull up an example. Jackie Briggs, custom variation. So, let's see here, which one is it? Robo Grappler. So, this move is completely unique to Jackie, for example. If she does a throw break with this customization turned on, you get an EX throw break, and they die. You get a Crushing Blow. And I'll get to Crushing Blows in a sec, but I just wanted to bring this up because I think this is a big factor to the gameplay. If this Robo Grappler was normal, like normal special move, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. It would be kind of cool, but like since you have to use a slot, yeah. But a big chunk of the gameplay's problem is like everyone has a projectile. I think a third of the characters in this game have a teleport. I think like a whole fifth of the characters in this game have a command grab. a lot of characters have not that many characters have a slide actually, but like so many characters share so many special move types where it's like, yeah, they're all technically different, but it's way harder to like justify saying, oh, this is a different archetype. You can't make archetypes in this game, which a lot of people don't like. You can't bundle a lot of these characters into anything, but at the same time, they don't feel unique enough to feel that much like different characters besides their inputs, of course. Which, honestly, yeah, fair enough. But so that does affect the gameplay, so which is why I was so put in the gameplay section. And it just is kind of rough. Because, like, there's a lot of cool characters, and there's a lot of cool individual moves, but they're stuck on weird characters, or, like, every character has a bunch of basic tools. Like, I don't know. At least to me, it's kind of not as interesting when every character has a projectile, or, like, oh, a third of all characters, maybe 40% even, have a teleport. Like, yeah, the teleports are different, but I'm just not that big of a fan of teleports, I guess. But the last part of gameplay I wanted to talk about is Krushing Blows. I don't even want to show off these Krushing Blows much just because of YouTube. But, we'll see what I do. Where is it? Easy Krushing Blows. So a Krushing Blow is basically a critical hit, like an RPG. And they do some stuff. So, Krushing Blows, basically, you get them once per game. Each Krushing Blow is once per game. And this is going to get into the biggest problem with this game's mechanics, if you ask me. But when you land a Krushing Blow, usually you get a launcher. So in that case, that did 16% and it had no combo ability. But now look at this. If I do it as a Krushing Blow, 21%. And it's a full launcher. Just a kind of a weird launcher, but you know. Every Krushing Blow, most Krushing Blows have a different requirement, like the I'll Be Backbreaker Krushing Blow. Requires you to basically use all other versions of the Backbreaker before this one to get its effect. But since you only get these Krushing Blows once per game, it makes the breakaway system even stronger. Like, the combo breaker is even better, because if you use a Krushing Blow to start a combo, it doesn't matter anymore, because if they just spam their breakaway and they have the meter, your Krushing Blow that starts a combo is almost meaningless, because most Krushing Blows that start combos don't deal that much damage. So it's like, what was even the point? Now, granted, Krushing Blows do break armor, but, like, you have to break armor. Like, if you want to punish breakaway with a Krushing Blow, it's like almost, I'm pretty sure it's not very feasible for most characters, but, you know. So, like, there's no synergy between the two mechanics. If you couldn't break a combo that starts from a Krushing Blow, they'd overall be stronger. Now, to be fair, I don't really want to show it. Sawed-off Shotgun does have a Krushing Blow where it just does a third of your health bar. So that's pretty cool. And it has no combo ability anyways. Now, those Krushing Blows are in the sense they're fine themselves. But, you know. Now, I can't go into every Krushing Blow, but a lot of Krushing Blows have simple requirements like, oh, land it as a counter hit, land it by as a whiff punish, not as a whiff punish, but as a block punish or something. And there's some cool stuff about some Krushing Blows I don't feel like getting into. But then there's some Krushing Blows like Shang Tsung's or Noob Saibot's are just weird. Where it's like you have to land 10 clones for Noob Saibot, or you have to land a back throw within 8 seconds after transforming back as Shang Tsung. Yeah, that's an actual Krushing Blow. But, you know, a lot of them are just weird. Just really weird Krushing Blows. And what really does it for me, where that really makes no sense about them. So if you have throw Krushing Blows, but Terminator doesn't. So, like, let's just pretend this was a Krushing. Let's just pretend that was a Krushing Blow. If you have both a forward throw and back throw Krushing Blow, and you use one of your two throw Krushing Blows, the other throw gets their Krushing Blow disabled. Which makes no sense because of two different moves, but you know, whatever. Is that everything? That's everything I would feel like talking about, I guess. Well, maybe except for I didn't cover it in the customization. I'm stupid. But there's banned moves. Like, this is one of the last nails in the coffin of the game. This game has banned moves, and the banned moves aren't chosen by the community, or like it's voted, or people kept trying them, or whatever. No. Only NRS got to choose which moves were banned. And some of them kind of make sense for a while, like how Terminator has a Terminate ability where he gains super armor but can't jump or duck or block. And he has to spend both meters to use it, but like, that's banned. Or Rain's Wave Dash, that's actually what it's called. It's not actually like a wave dash like this, or anything, or like a Tekken Wave Dash. It's literally like he dashes on water. That's banned, even though it's not even that practical, I'm pretty sure. But like, yeah. So, for a while, it's like, man, you want to use some abilities, but you can't because they're banned. Even some pretty bad moves aren't good. I mean, pretty bad abilities aren't allowed. Which really blows for a lot of people. And I get it. Like, maybe some moves are too strong, but like, there aren't. But like, Shiva Stomp got to exist in the game. That game was really bad for the game's health. But, you know, I don't like the rules, I guess. Gosh, this video is so informal, and that's my style, I guess. I guess the last thing I do want to mention, because I already dragged this entire section for way too long. Right, there's basically no anti-airs. Anti-airs in this game are very fake. So that's technically an anti-air. This is supposed to be an anti-air. These both suck in as anti-airs. Like, the actual looking moves that look like anti-airs are super fake. You know what your best anti-airs with most characters is? Jab. Yep. Sometimes crouch jab. Like, if I think at this nearly this distance, if the Sub-Zero does like a jump kick or something, you could try to anti-air it like this, and then go into a full combo from there. Or in Terminator's case, this is actually one of his best anti-airs. Unironically. This awkwardly animated, but with a decent key pose kick. Yeah, because of its key pose, it's a decent anti-air, which is really ironic. And no, I don't feel like going into the animation. Just know that throws in this game, throws in Mortal Kombat, have my least favorite animations. I hate throw animations in Mortal Kombat games, and I don't feel like explaining right now. Yeah. Actually, people point out the anti-airs were so bad in this game that they just added an air attack parry in Mortal Kombat 12. That's all you have to know. That's how you know anti-airs sucked in this game. There was no anti-air intangible moves like in Mortal Kombat 9. And even MKX had better anti-airs because you could at least use an armored attack to armor through their aerial. But in this game, there just wasn't any of that, because armor is practically non-existent except for Fatal Blows. So yeah. And yeah, honestly, I think that's most of everything I want to cover. If I kept thinking of crap right now, I just would be here all day. And anything I do miss here, I can just talk about Mortal Kombat 12, which comes out in about a week and a half. So yeah, that's my super informal, no, what do you call it, scripting thoughts on Mortal Kombat as a game. Poor synergy, nonsensical story. I don't have time to explain the story. Nonsensical story, bad synergy on mechanics, sluggish, underwhelming gameplay overall. They're gonna make the game crazy in MK12 again. So, which is honestly kind of what I think Mortal Kombat should probably be, like just ridiculous over the top game. This game's kind of underwhelming in that sense. And overall, not that good. I don't really like it that much. So,